You might be asking, what am I doing at open house with no teacher? And I would say that's a valid question. But then you might say, who are you? Well, my name is Mr. Ferrin, and some say that I'm a teacher, others a father, and a few might even say that I'm a superhero. That might lead you to ask another question. Where are you? And to that I have a good answer. I'm at New Teacher Summit out of town for National Heritage Academies because Windermere Park is part of National Heritage Academies. My story doesn't begin there though. I grew up in a place called Idaho, which is back west. After graduating from high school, I spent a couple of years doing a mission in Georgia. Following that, I decided to go to school at Brigham Young University in Provo, Utah. After going there for a few years, I met my wife, Mrs. Ferrin. Together, we moved to Houston, Texas. It was a long drive. And I taught there at a school called KIPP for 4 years. After teaching at KIPP, I decided that I needed to get some additional knowledge and learning, and so I applied to Michigan State University and was accepted. So I decided to move to Lansing and be your teacher and go to school at the same time. Well, what's important to me? There are a few things that are important to me. The first one is superheroes. My favorite is probably the Flash, and that's because he's so fast. When I was in school, I liked to run myself. My favorite sport is track and field, but I like pretty much all sports. I also like to read. This is one of my favorite books. It's called Ender's Game, and it's about children who have to protect the earth. Another book that's been perhaps even more impactful is called The Book of Mormon. It has strengthened my faith in Jesus Christ and helped me to have a strong moral focus. One other thing that's super important to me, and perhaps the most important thing in my life, is my family. This is a picture of them. This is me in the middle. Next to me is my wife, Mrs. Ferrin. Then I have my daughter, Emmeline. She's starting kindergarten this year. Atticus. His hair is orange, and that's his favorite color. And this is Iris. She's almost 1 year old. So that's a little bit about me, but now it's time to talk about the things that you should have done when you came into class. The first thing is you should have collected some papers. This one is my Remind 101. It's a way that I will communicate with you and your parents. There's a place on it to write my contact information right up here at the top. So I encourage you to write this information or have your parents write it so that you can get a hold of me. You can also put your number, my number, right in your phone. You should have also gotten a parent response form. Again, this is for you parents to fill out so that I know a little bit about you and your family. I've included my contact information here at the bottom so that you can, if you didn't get that on the last slide. There were some optional papers too. There were some extra supply lists. If you hadn't been able to get your school supplies yet, I'd encourage you to do so. Most of you should have brought them tonight and put them inside your desks. Also, there are some walker forms. If you're a walker, you should go and fill this out so that we can have them and turn them on my desk. Walkers, as a note, will be dismissed at 3:30 this year, not 3:10. Some of you who have been walkers in the past may ask, well, why? Well, the most important reason is so that everyone is safe. At 3:10, there weren't enough teachers to be around, and it led to a lot of different problems. And so this will help this transition to go a lot more smoothly, and then everyone will be kept safe. Here are the instructions for your name. You should have found your name and your desk. After you do that, please color and cut out your name. You could use the markers or crayons or colored pencils that are at your table, or you could use your own. Next, put the tape on the back of your name, 2 pieces. After that, go put your name on the bulletin board outside the class. I've included an example here where I put my name on our board. You can put your name anywhere on here, but don't put it on anyone else's name. Now, I know not everyone's perfect, so if you mess up your name, you colored it bad, you cut it bad, there are some extras at the back under the superhero actions board. I just have one question for you. What about you? Do you have what it takes to be a superhero? We'll find out next week when school starts. Until then, have an incredible week.